Come on, Harv.
Squat!
There you go. Get it! What's up, everyone? Today we're going to talk about the barbell squat and how to do it correctly.
That was...
Alright, when it comes to exercise and weight training, the most important thing is longevity. The longer you do it, the better you get at it and the more efficient you become at it. Meaning your results continue to get better and better. There are a few mistakes, common mistakes that people make when it comes to the squat. Today I'm going to go over a few easy tips as to how to get rid of those, and then that way you can do the lift more efficiently. Alright, so one of the common mistakes I see most often is real easy. It's just misplacement of the bar. The bar is either off to the right, off to the left, and this just causes some crookedness, which can actually lead your hips to being slightly shifted over and just causing small injuries that just don't need to be done or had. So, best way to make sure the bar is straight on your back is I like to use my thumbs as measuring devices. What I do is I line up right here, make sure I'm in a good position. This is also going to depend on mobility, so as I am cold and as I get warmer, I actually start with my hands slightly further out, and as I get warmer or through my warm-ups, I slowly move my hands further and further in. So starting out, we'll go ahead and line our thumbs up like I mentioned, and then just simply slip under the bar, and it's nice and balanced on your back. Again, a lot of people, they'll hop under and it'll be off, so when they step back, their bar will be crooked like this, and they can't figure out why one of their shoulders is in slightly more pain than the other, or it's reoccurring pain. People doing quarter squats. So I'm going to show you what true depth looks like. So, again, line up our thumbs, get under the bar, step out. Now, this is what you typically see in most, especially commercial gyms. People come here, and they come down to about right here, and then come up. Okay? That's typically the people in high school who say they used to squat 500 pounds. That's how they squat. Okay, so true depth is you want your hip joint to pass below your knee. So this is correct depth. Okay? If you're not hitting your hip below your knee, you are not squatting. And usually this is just a mobility issue or a leverage issue. A lot of people tend to think you break with your squatting. And usually this is just a mobility issue or a leverage issue. A lot of people tend to think you break with your hips and knees simultaneously, shifting forward. And so when you come here, it's really hard to sit back and allow your hips to hit depth. So what I suggest, and this is also for knee health and drive off of your heels, you actually want to break with the hips, or when you even step back with a bar, keep your hips back slightly. So keep your hips back over your midfoot before you even start the squat. So you're going to come here, nice deep breath, break at your hips. My knees still aren't moving, my knees still aren't moving, and now they move. Okay? That's going to allow your hips to sink into the hole and allow for you to get a much better depth. Alright, so the last tip is going to be breathing. Breathing is the number one issue that most people have when it comes to any type of weight training. Breathing is incredibly important in that it keeps you alive, but it also helps you brace when you're lifting. So a lot of people either forget to breathe completely, or their breaths are extremely shallow. So they walk out and they're just, and on top of that, they're breathing into their chest as opposed to their abdomen. So today I'm going to show you how to breathe correctly. Okay, so we're going to line up. So before you even step out of the rack, I want you to take a nice deep breath and then head back. Now you're going to hold your breath as you walk out. So I'm holding my breath, holding my breath, holding my breath. Get my feet nice and set. Exhale. Exhale 2 or 3 times. This is going to get all of the oxygen out of your lungs, or more of it. Alright, at that point, once you're in the final position where you want to be to squat, you take a nice deep breath. Nice deep breath. Okay, and then re-rack. If you notice, I took a nice deep breath, brought my head back, and actually took my tongue and placed it against the roof of my mouth. What this does is it forces your abdomen out, which also tightens up your lower back and essentially connects your hips to your esophagus, or excuse me, your sternum. It just basically locks everything into one position, so you have no flexion while doing the movement. Typically when people have back injuries, this is usually the cause of it, is having flexion in their back or their lower back. And then another thing you might have noticed is when I took a deep breath, and I brought my head back. And what I'm trying to do is align my spine so that when I push my tongue against the roof of my mouth, everything is locked into one position. So I come here, head back, tongue against the roof of my mouth, then squat. And then I only exhale the last quarter or so. A lot of people, they will do it on the way up completely, in which case, as you let your air out, your abdomen slowly starts to cave in, or gets soft, in which case, again, you can have some back flexion. So that's it for that today. I hope these tips helped. Please email me if you have any questions. I'll put my email in the description.